Hare Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna. Who is Lord Jagannath? We know that when we say Lord Jagannath, we remember uh, the typical deity of Lord Jagannath of Puri, because in the Puri dham, Puri Kshetra, also called Sri Kshetra or Purushottam Kshetra, we have the temple called Sri Mandir, where there are deities of Lord Jagannath, Balabhadra and Subhadra, and they appear something different. They don't appear like the usual deities of other temples, but we see that they appear like some toys like that. The deities not having the hands and legs of Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra. Instead, they have that round to oval faces with round eyes, very round eyes, and doesn't look like the normal human type of body features. So, is it just an imaginary form, or it has any significance? No, it is not imaginary form. It is not the wild imagination or speculation of someone who has created those deities or designed those deities, but there is a history behind it. Once in Dwaraka, we know that from Vrindavan, Lord Krishna and all the citizens of Vrindavan, they go to Dwaraka on the middle of the sea. Overnight, Krishna constructs a big city or tells Vishwakarma to construct a city, and he transfers all the citizens of Vrindavan to Dwaraka, a big city with having so many gates around, and in the middle of the sea, that is called Dwaraka. And Krishna expands to 16,108 Krishnas. So because Krishna, by his mystic power, the divine mystic power, he can do anything. He expanded to 16,108 persons or personified forms, and in that way, each of them, each Krishna stayed separately in each palace with the queen, and was acting as a householder, and living like an ideal householder with in each palace, in each queen. Once what happened is all the queens were not happy, and that Krishna always thinks, remains absent-minded, and thinks about gopis and relishes the pastimes, the activities of with gopis in the past years, in Vrindavan before coming to Dwarka, and is not giving much attention to them, even if they are providing all types of service and very good obedient service to Krishna as wives. Even if they have so many housemaids, maid servants, still all the queens, they were personally serving Lord Krishna like ideal householder wives, out of love for Krishna and out of devotion for Krishna, pure devotion and love for Krishna, in the mood of service and surrender. But they are not so happy that Lord Krishna always relishes the pastimes of gopis in Vrindavan and doesn't pay much attention to them. So once when they ask Rohini, the mother of Balaram, then Rohini tells that Rohini says that let us all go to that nearby Goshala or cowshed, and we will discuss. I will tell you what happens. I will tell you why Krishna always thinks about the pastimes of Vrindavan, why he relishes so much. I will describe all those innumerable pastimes which are very pleasing to listen, and which give lot of joy and immense divine joy and transcendental happiness. Then Rohini takes all these queens to that big Goshala and asks some of them, one or two of them, or some guards to wait near the entrance of the Goshala, so that Krishna and Balaram do not enter, and because once they listen to these pastimes of Vrindavan pastimes, they become very ecstatic, and they might feel like leaving Dwarka and going to Vrindavan to meet with those gopis or to associate with them. So they thought that they will guard the entrance of the Goshala, and inside they will discuss all the pastimes. But when all of them went into that cowshed and Rohini was telling about those Vrindavan pastimes, it so happened that Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra, they were passing by that road, and they could hear, they could know that Rohini was telling all those Vrindavan pastimes, and from a distance they could listen to all those pastimes. When they listened to all those Vrindavan pastimes or the Leelas or the historical incidents which happened in the past in the Vrindavan, all the sweet, loving, divine exchanges and loving pastimes which happened between the Krishna and gopis in Vrindavan, they became so ecstatic, so happy, so excited, so thrilled that that lot of divine transformations happened in their divine body, and and both their upper and lower limbs withdrew, and they entered into their bodies, and the eyes became very large with joy and ecstasy, and they were in a great that feeling of joy and the transcendental happiness, listening to all those pastimes which happened in Vrindavan with gopis. And when that happened, in all the three of them, when those divine transformations happened, the images they turned into the forms of Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra, having those round eyes and with their upper and lower limbs withdrew or entered into their body, squeezed into their body. So this divine form Narada witnessed and became very excited and very happy. And when three of them saw that Narada has seen, they became normal again. Then Narada told, these divine and rare forms which I have just seen, I am so fortunate, and I want that the entire universe should see these divine forms. Then Krishna told that, don't worry, Narada, these merciful divine forms of this Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra, of three of us, they will be manifested in shortly in Kali Yuga, in our favorite place, that is the holy divine place of Puri, or the Sri Kshetra or Purushottam Kshetra, with some events happening where the King Indradyumna of Ujjain will make these deities construct, and in this form the deities will be manifested and will be worshipped, and millions of people will have darshan of these, the rare divine merciful forms of three of us, and they will be named as Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra. So this is the history or the story behind how those the deities were happened and constructed as planned by Lord Krishna, and which Narada saw, and now the millions and millions and billions of people worldwide are seeing those divine forms of Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra, which are nothing but the forms of Krishna, Balarama, and Subhadra in this world. So this is the history of Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra, and it is not some wild imagination or speculative imagination of the construction of deities, but this is the story or history behind it, and it's a divine, significant historical incident happened. Story happened. Hare Krishna. Jai Sri Krishna.